Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Diablo Sport InTune i3 Platinum Tuner and PCM Swap Kit fitting 2015 to 2017 5.7 liter Ram 1500s with the 8-speed automatic. Now this is going to appeal to the Hemi-powered Ram owner who is looking for an all-inclusive, easy-to-install tuning kit that's going to give a solid performance improvement with lots of flexibility and features. This setup is going to include everything you need to get a tune onto your Ram with no fuss at a pretty reasonable price too. Now there's a lot to talk about here, but I want to start with the PCM portion. Now this kit includes a one-time unlock for your stock unit. As you can see, I don't have another one here on the table, so you are going to utilize the stock PCM that's in your truck. So you'll need to send yours off to Diablo Sport for programming, but they're going to take care of it for you, get it back to you so you can complete the job. Now on to the actual tuner itself. This little module has a lot of firepower behind it. The InTune i3 Platinum comes preloaded with tunes that are all dyno tested and street proven by Diablo Sport to ensure that you're going to see improved power and drivability without having to sacrifice. Now when you do go to program the tune, you're going to get asked a few questions regarding what octane fuel you plan to use, if you've changed the tire size versus your stock ones, etc. And the module is going to give you tunes based on how you answer these. You can also turn off the speed limiter, disable the electronic stability program or ESP, adjust the rev limiter, disable the active fuel management, or in this case MDS as it's called. You can control your cooling fan, adjust spark timing, adjust your air-fuel ratio, and you can even calibrate the speedometer to accommodate larger wheels and tires, or even a different rear-end gear ratio. So there's a lot that you can actually do with this in addition to just putting a tune on the truck. Now this unit is also going to save your stock tune, so if you do need to revert your truck back to OEM spec at any point, you can do that pretty easily. And speaking of easy, this also has the ability to receive updates via Wi-Fi in addition to using your Mac or Windows PC too. But there's actually even more here to talk about. Now this unit also allows for data logging so you can check on different engine parameters and see how everything is performing. You can also download those logs onto your computer using Diablo Sport's data viewer software to view and analyze that data. So you've got a lot of flexibility to monitor things and see how your truck is performing. The tuner unit can also read and clear diagnostic trouble codes, so if you do happen to get a check engine light somewhere along the way, you can use this to read it, figure out what's causing the problem, and you can even clear them out of your engine computer right in your driveway, saving you a trip to the shop or the auto parts store. It's always difficult to talk about the construction of tuners, but it is worthwhile, especially when we're talking about this one. Now the whole thing is controlled by a little touchscreen here, and it has excellent resolution too. So it's easy to use, it's easy to navigate, and it looks good if you want to keep it up and use it as a display in the car as well. Plus it comes ready to go. You're going to use the included OBD2 cable. It's already pre-wired in, just plug this guy in. And of course you get a USB cable included in the kit as well if you want to do the updates via your computer as opposed to doing them via Wi-Fi. Price-wise, this kit is going to run you about $650, and I'm not going to pull any punches here. For all that you're getting, that's a pretty darn good deal. You've got the flexibility of the tuning module alone, which is great, but you also keep the ability to easily revert your truck back to stock by yourself. And you can modify a bunch of different parameters in the truck as well, and you get the PCM flash that you need too. So it comes really with everything that you need to get started. Now a standalone tuner is not much less than this, and it doesn't include all the capabilities or that PCM flash. And with all the features and the ease of installing use, I really think you're getting an excellent value here. And speaking of the easy install, we're going to give this a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 45 minutes to get it done. Now this is a simple plug and play operation. You're going to plug this guy again right into the OBD2 port underneath your dashboard, and pulling that PCM out and putting it back in is a matter of a couple connectors and bolts, so it's a very easy operation. You don't need to actually modify anything on the truck in order to get this hooked up. In fact, you're probably going to spend more time messing around in the system, getting things set up the way that you want, but the actual installation is quite simple, definitely something you can accomplish at home in your own driveway or garage. Not much more I can say about it here in the studio, so with that, let's hand things over to one of our AT customers who's going to walk you through the process.
All right, so I purchased the Diablo i3 Performance Programmer. Here's the case. iTune i3. The symbol's kind of neat. In the box, we're going to find the tuner itself here. The manual, pretty basic, there's not much to that. And then the cord to hook it up to your computer to update the device. This device is unique because you can update it through Wi-Fi. So as long as you, when you plug it into your OB2 port, you can power it up, and then it will have a Wi-Fi settings. You can set it up through that. So that's what you get in the box. All right, so installing the PCM, this is pretty much the only tools you'll need. The 10 millimeter is good for both the PCM bolts and the one on your negative terminal on your battery. So, I mean, you might need a drill if it's on a little tight or something a little smaller to get into tighter places, but this is about all that you'll need. All right, so you can see we got the negative cable off of the terminal on the battery. And now we go over here to where you find your PCM chip, right there behind your air filter. You just have to pull the red levers up to disconnect it, and then you undo the bolts. You can see them kind of right next to it, little 10 millimeter bolts. So I will disconnect that, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. All right, so we've got these pulled off here. We've got the bolts loosened up a little bit. We'll take them all off. Pretty long, so you don't gotta worry about them coming out too much. Okay, that one's coming. All right, and then one more. All right, that's pretty much it. You pop it off, and then you swap it with the new one, and you do the reverse same process. Put the bolts back in. Try not to lose the bolts, and then you go from there. Okay, so my advice for this is to make sure you plug in the cables before you try to put the screws in. That way you can just line it up and put the screws right in place. If you try to put them in before you get in there, they might fall, so just be careful with that. Okay, so I've got the outlets plugged back in. The PCM is now installed. I'm going to reattach the negative terminal to the battery, and then I will show you how to hook up your first tune. All right, so you need to find your OBD2 port, which is right underneath your steering column. Take the cord, you just plug it in. Plug and play, as they say. If I can get it on there right. There we go. All right, now you'll see it turning on. It's pretty simple, just walk through instructions. You turn your ignition on, and you get the little warning about what it's designed to do. Just hit agree, and you get your choices. Your tune choices there. You can tune vehicle, you can scan it, go into settings. You need to go into settings to set up your Wi-Fi. I've already done that, but I'll go through it real quick. Right there, you see Wi-Fi configuration. You hit Wi-Fi setup, it goes through, it'll find your Wi-Fi network, and then you hit your password like you would on your phone. Once you've done that, get out of the Wi-Fi configuration, and then go to your advanced options. Go back to settings, and then go to your tune vehicle. And then please ensure the key is in the run position, and don't start the engine. Never start it, just turn it to the on position. And you'll get some information after it updates and loads things. Always check before, even the instructions will tell you to check for updates for the device itself. Once you plug it into the car and you turn on your Wi-Fi, it will almost do it itself. So we've got your options here. You can do an easy tune, an advanced tune, or you restore your backup. I've tuned it once already, but here are your easy tunes. There's 93 to 91, the 87, and the miles per gallon, so that's just for your fuel. And then you have your advanced tunes. You can go into other options for this, but then there are some that are just quick setups that'll run it through and set it up for you. But I got this one because at some point I'm going to add some more modifications, and I will add some other tune parameters to it. So we can install a standard tune or modify parameters. Not doing a custom tune just yet, so we're not going to hit that. It's not available. So here are your tunes. Right now I'm on the Jammer CEI tune, which is for cold air intake. The Diablo tune is for good gas mileage, and then the 91 octane is for the higher octane fuel. So it takes about 10 to 15 minutes Some maybe a little longer, just depending on which tune you're doing. But once you hit that, you'll go through the process, and I'll show you how each step here in just a second. All right, so I'm going to add the Diablo tune. So I'm gonna hit yes, and then we'll go through the process here. Standard tune again. I already got my performance transmission tune, so I don't have to worry about that one. So I will just use that to go through the process, and now it will go through the setup. So I'm going to apply the tune, and then we will go through the process of doing the tune. Okay, so it said to turn it off. I'm going to turn it off. I'll hit continue. I'll turn it back on. Hit continue. And it's writing the tune. Turn it off again. Continue. Turn it on again. Continue. Now this one shouldn't take very long, as I've already done the performance trans tune, but looks like it's just kind of double checking itself. Okay, so turn off the engine again. Continue. Turn it back on. Continue. Okay, tuning complete. You may unplug and go. So I'm gonna unplug it from here, and then I will be set up. Now, it was a little faster that time because I had already reprogrammed it, but your first time, I would say give it about 15 to 20 minutes. You can step away probably for about 10 minutes before the first one's even downloaded. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Thanks.
That's going to wrap it up here for our review and install of the Diablo Sport InTune i3 Platinum Tuner and PCM Swap Kit, fitting 2015 to 2017 5.7 liter Ram 1500s, equipped with the 8-speed automatic. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, for all things Ram, be sure to stick with us right here at AmericanTrucks.com.